Chosen one, do not scroll away from this screen. Stop and hear me right now. This specific moment on your timeline is not an accident. You did not find this message because of a random algorithm. Heaven has literally bent the rules of time to place this urgent warning directly in your path. And if you choose to swipe away, you are walking away from the exact monumental shift you begged for in secret. Stay with me for just a few short minutes. I know you are feeling a deep pressure today. I know your heart is racing a little bit. But you do not need to be afraid. The painful cycle of scarcity that has terrorized your bloodline is finally coming to an end. I am about to show you exactly how to claim the economic miracle deeded to your name. Let us take a deep breath together. Inhale slowly. Unclench your tight jaw. Let your heavy shoulders fall down. You have been carrying entirely too much weight. Let me speak to something tender now. I want to talk about something heavy you have carried quietly all by yourself while everyone else was unaware. The first sign that this message was ordained for you is the deep exhaustion you have felt lately. It is a heavy fog sitting right in your mind. You wake up with an unexplained heaviness in your chest. You think it is just normal daily stress. You tell yourself that you just need more sleep, but you are completely wrong. Your fragile body is reacting to a massive spiritual shift that is actively rewriting the foundation of your future. I am about to reveal exactly what is happening in the unseen realm. But first, you must understand your pain. I saw you last night. I saw you, sitting on the edge of the bed when the whole house was quiet. You were staring at absolutely nothing. You felt the crushing weight of bills and endless responsibilities threatening to pull you under. And you swallowed your tears because you had to be strong for everyone else when the morning light came. No one sees how close you are to breaking, but I see every detail. I count every single silent tear you cry. You smile to keep others comfortable while your own tired spirit is breaking quietly in the dark. You are so tired of being the strong one. You are exhausted from bleeding just to prove to the people around you that you genuinely care about them. They take your incredible strength for granted. They think you have an endless supply of energy. They are wrong. You stare at the numbers on your screen. You calculate your basic survival in the dark. You wonder how you will make it through another single month. The financial pressure feels like a heavy chain wrapped tightly around your throat. You work harder than anyone else you know. You pray with more desperation than anyone else in your family. But the breakthrough always seems to stay just out of your reach. You start to wonder if heaven has forgotten your name. You ask yourself if you did something terrible to deserve this silent punishment. Do not let that lie take root. The enemy wants you to feel isolated and abandoned by the only source of true hope you have left. He wants you to look at your empty hands and feel deep shame. But your empty hands are not a sign of failure. They are a sign of preparation. Listen closely to me now. I speak with a very heavy weight. Do not skim past the next sentence. You have lived in survival mode for so long that your nervous system no longer knows how to recognize genuine peace. You are constantly waiting for the next bad news to drop. You overthink every tiny decision you make. You are terrified that one wrong step will ruin the beautiful destiny waiting for you. Hear my voice clearly today. You cannot ruin the destiny I have called you to just by being a flawed human. Your exhaustion is not a sign of weak faith. The thick brain fog that frustrates you daily is not happening because you are somehow failing at life. It is the physical toll of carrying a massive spiritual calling inside a fragile human body. You are not broken. You are simply under holy compression. Let us go deeper into that quiet room. I want to walk into the spaces you hide from everyone else. You carry a smile like a heavy shield during the day, but I see exactly what happens when the door finally closes. The silence of your bedroom is incredibly loud. You sit there and feel the full weight of your lonely reality pressing down on your chest. I saw you holding your breath in the dark so nobody would hear you cry. Your pillow is a witness to your profound exhaustion. You toss and turn through the long night. Your mind races through endless worst-case scenarios. And every single morning you wake up with a tight jaw and a knot in your stomach. You force yourself to get out of bed. You put the brave mask back on your face. You look at your phone screen and dread seeing the numbers. The financial anxiety is a physical ache in your bones. You work so incredibly hard every single day, while other people seem to get by with zero effort. You wonder why the blessing is taking so long to reach your house. You calculate every penny just to survive another week. The fear of running out of resources is suffocating. Everyone around you depends on your endless strength. They come to you for advice and comfort when their own lives fall apart. You pour your energy into their empty cups, but nobody ever asks if your cup is running dry. You give and you give every single day because you are terrified of disappointing the people you love. And while you are busy fixing their broken pieces, your own spirit is starving. You feel entirely alone in a crowded room. You want to scream for help, but the words get stuck in your throat. You think nobody could possibly understand the unique pressure you carry. The isolation makes you feel cold and completely forgotten. You look up at the ceiling and beg for a single sign that heaven is still paying attention to your daily struggle. I heard every silent prayer you whispered in the shower. I saw you crying alone in your parked car. I watched you smile and pretend everything was perfectly fine when your heart was breaking into a million pieces. You are the deeply tired and weary caregiver. You are the cycle breaker carrying heavy generational chains. You feel so deeply exhausted by this endless season. You are tired of trying to figure it out alone. Do not ever apologize for your natural human fragility. Do not feel ashamed of your desperate tears. They are holy offerings on the altar of your transformation. The religious voices told you to simply pray much harder, and they said your anxiety is a clear sign of weak faith. Those people completely lied to your beautiful face. Your anxiety is a physiological response to a very real and heavy spiritual warfare. Let us look directly at the financial wound. You feel a deep shame because you cannot provide the way you truly want to. You have grand visions of blessing your entire family and changing the world, but right now you can barely keep the lights on in your own home. This contrast between your massive vision and your current reality is tearing your mind apart. It makes you feel like a massive failure. This is exactly why you have that heavy fog in your brain. This is why your memory fails you and your chest feels incredibly tight. You are trying to process a massive heavenly transition, but you are forced to do it using a very tired human mind. Hold that specific thought in your spirit for a moment. I need you to understand that your body is not betraying you. Your physical vessel is simply feeling overwhelmed. I need you to stay with me right here. Do not let the distraction of your environment pull you away. You have survived the darkest and most painful nights by fiercely holding onto a tiny thread of hope. I am here to tell you that the thread did not break. The silence you have been experiencing is not a rejection. It is a profound mystery that I am about to decode for you. Take another deep breath directly into your heavy chest. Let me show you the unseen truth right now. You have cried out to heaven in deep desperation. You asked why heaven stays totally silent when you are suffering. And every single day when you wake up to the exact same empty reality, the quietness makes you feel completely abandoned by the only Father you trust. You assume your heavy mistakes have finally disqualified you. That is a vicious lie planted deep inside your tired mind. The enemy wants you to believe you are being punished for not praying hard enough. He wants you to stare at your empty bank account and feel deep shame. But your delayed breakthrough has absolutely nothing to do with punishment, and you are not a disappointment to heaven. The silence you hate is actually your strongest shield. Let me reveal the architecture of this exact moment. I am not ignoring your desperate pleas for help. I am actively working behind the scenes to protect your future wealth. There are hidden traps waiting in the exact rooms you are trying to enter right now, and toxic people are plotting in secret to steal the heavy blessing destined for your bloodline. If I answered your prayer yesterday, you would have walked into a terrible trap, so I placed a heavy closed door in your path to stop you. I am aggressively sweeping the toxic people out of your future right now. My silence is the intense sound of heavy spiritual warfare fighting on your behalf, while I am clearing the dirty room before I let you walk safely inside. You must stop standing at the door of heaven like a tired beggar asking for crumbs. The transactional religion that taught you to grovel is completely over. You do not need to perform or bleed just to earn my love. You are the rightful heir to a massive spiritual and financial estate, and the inheritance has already been legally deeded to your specific name. You are the chosen one. You are assigned to break the terrible cycle of generational poverty. That is why the enemy is fighting you with such brutal force today. He did not target your finances because you are weak and vulnerable. He attacked your peace because he is terrified of the wealth you will soon manage, and he knows your sudden arrival will destroy his dark kingdom completely. The intense pressure of this waiting season has taken a massive toll on your human body. Your brain feels incredibly foggy and slow every single afternoon. You forget simple things and instantly blame yourself for being careless. But your spiritual calling is perfect while your physical vessel is just deeply overwhelmed because your nervous system is bracing for a massive dimensional shift. Do not call yourself broken when you are simply under holy compression. Your physical body is trying to hold the massive weight of a prophetic destiny. It is completely natural for your mind to feel exhausted and disconnected right now. I need you to completely release the heavy guilt you carry about your current weakness because you are doing exactly what you are supposed to do. The long delay was never a rejection of your desperate prayers. The delay was my fierce protection wrapping securely around your fragile life. You thought I was angry with you for making human mistakes in the past, but I have only ever looked at you with overwhelming pride and deep compassion, and I am shaping your strong character so the coming wealth does not destroy your soul. Stay with me and do not let your mind wander away. Listen closely to the truth that is breaking your invisible chains today. The season of agonizing waiting is drawing to a rapid close. You have survived the brutal wilderness that was meant to break your spirit entirely. Now you must prepare your tired mind to step across the threshold into your beautiful harvest season, leaving the victim mentality in the desert where it belongs. Let us look closely at your physical reality again. The heavy exhaustion I mentioned earlier is not just in your imagination. You sit down to work and your mind simply refuses to focus. The thick fog rolls in and makes every simple task feel like climbing a massive mountain. You forget names and misplace things constantly, and instantly you criticize yourself for being lazy or losing your sharp edge. But your edge is not lost at all. Your brain is simply operating under the massive weight of two conflicting realities. You are trying to live a normal daily life while a heavy spiritual war rages violently right above your head. Your nervous system is absorbing all of that invisible shock. That is exactly why you crave silence and dark rooms right now. Your physical vessel needs immediate rest. Now let me speak to an even deeper wound you carry. I see the painful trauma of being constantly misunderstood by the people you love. You try to explain your heart to them. You use your words carefully so you do not hurt their fragile feelings. But they twist your intentions completely and paint you as the villain in their story. It breaks your heart into a million tiny pieces. The deep pressure you feel in your chest is the urge to defend yourself one more time. You want to send that long message to prove your absolute innocence. You want them to know your heart is clean. Do not do it. Stop wasting your precious energy on people who are determined to misunderstand your journey. You do not need to hold a trial to prove your worth to confused people. Every time you try to explain your spiritual season, they look at you with deep judgment. They think you are crazy for waiting on a miracle that they cannot see. Their doubting voices echo loudly in your foggy mind late at night. You start to internalize their toxic opinions and wonder if you really are losing your mind. But heaven is absolutely not confused about your true identity. You are the tired caregiver who has bled too much for ungrateful people. You smile to keep the peace at the dinner table. You nod and agree just to avoid another exhausting conflict. But inside your heavy chest, you are screaming for someone to just understand you. You want someone to look at you and see the massive burden you are carrying without you having to explain it. I see the incredible burden clearly. I see the nights you cried out of pure frustration because your good deeds were thrown back in your face. You gave them your absolute best, and they treated it like dirt. That betrayal created a deep wound in your spirit that makes you afraid to trust anyone ever again. You built a high wall around your heart to survive the bitter disappointment. Let the heavy armor fall to the ground for just a moment. I know you are terrified of being vulnerable again because vulnerability always led to massive pain in your past, but you are safe in this exact moment with me. The heavy fog in your brain is actually a protective blanket. It is forcing you to slow down and stop obsessing over what other people think about your life choices. That mystery symptom you have been worried about is finally decoded. Your extreme fatigue is not a medical failure or a sign of personal weakness. It is the deep cognitive heaviness of a chosen one who is navigating a profound dimensional shift. Your two brain hemispheres are disconnecting under the intense pressure of waiting for your final arrival season. That is why you feel so detached. Hold that sentence and do not let it slide past you. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. The misunderstandings and the fog are just temporary shadows in the wilderness. You are a warrior, resting by the fire before the final battle ends. Breathe slowly now. Let the deep validation wash over your tired mind and soothe your anxious heart completely. We are moving forward together. Let us uncover the hidden source of your endless exhaustion today. You have spent years blaming yourself for every single failure, and you thought your lack of faith was the reason for your struggle. But I need you to hear this truth clearly right now. The heavy attacks on your life have absolutely nothing to do with your weakness. You are completely innocent. The spiritual enemy did not target you because you are an easy victim. He attacked your finances and your peace because he is absolutely terrified of you, and he knows you are the exact person chosen to destroy his dark kingdom. He looked into the unseen realm and saw the massive destiny written over your life. You are a dangerous weapon to the darkness. That is exactly why he sent toxic people into your life to drain your energy. Those people who misunderstood you and betrayed your trust were not random accidents, but they were strategic assignments sent by the enemy to keep you shrinking in deep fear. The darkness used their cruel words to make you completely doubt your holy calling. He wanted you broken. He wants you to stay small and quiet so you never claim your inheritance. He aggressively targeted your bank account because poverty keeps you distracted by daily survival, and if you are constantly worried about paying bills, you cannot focus on your massive spiritual assignment. The long financial drought was a calculated weapon designed to break your spirit completely, but the enemy is currently panicking because his cruel strategy is failing. You are still standing here despite every heavy blow he landed on your chest. He sees the beautiful harvest season rapidly approaching your house, and he is desperately throwing everything at you to make you quit right before the door opens. He is running out of time. The sudden increase in your anxiety is actually proof of your incoming victory. The darkness always fights the hardest when the breakthrough is just one step away, because you carry the specific light that will blind the enemy and set your entire bloodline free from heavy debt. You are the spiritual warrior of your family line. You are the ultimate cycle breaker. Do not let the enemy steal this profound revelation from your tired mind. You must officially close the door on his toxic lies today. Gently press the like button right now as your physical yes to heaven. This simple action is your holy covenant that you recognize the true enemy, and you refuse to be his helpless victim anymore. You are taking back your power. The confused people who mocked your painful journey will soon watch you rise, and they will be totally speechless when they see the massive blessing poured over your life. The enemy is losing his tight grip on your mind and your precious resources. The heavy chains of generational poverty are breaking apart in the spiritual realm right at this very moment. You must stop taking these brutal spiritual attacks so personally. The warfare is simply a violent reaction to the massive authority you carry inside your spirit, and every lie he whispered in the dark was just a desperate attempt to delay your glorious arrival. But heaven is moving swiftly to expose his hidden traps and clear your beautiful path. Do not let the brain fog convince you that you are losing your sharp edge. The enemy uses that physiological exhaustion to make you feel completely unqualified. He wants you to look at your tired body and believe you cannot handle the incoming wealth, but heaven does not need your physical perfection to deliver a miracle. Heaven only needs your willing heart. We are approaching the final threshold of your incredibly long waiting season. The heavy pressure is building because the old world is collapsing right behind you. Stay firmly planted right here with me, because you are about to walk out of the wilderness and step directly into the overwhelming light of your massive reward. You can feel the intense shifting in the air right now. The pressure in your chest is building to an absolute extreme. You are standing right on the edge of a massive threshold. And while the old version of your life is completely collapsing behind you, the glorious future you prayed for is pushing violently against the heavy door. This is exactly where the gravity feels the heaviest. The enemy knows you are standing at this critical boundary today. That is why your daily life feels so incredibly chaotic right now. Every small problem is magnified to look like a massive disaster. He is trying to create a deafening noise in your tired mind. He wants you to turn around and run back to the familiar pain of the wilderness because he wants you to abandon your reward. But you cannot go backward because the bridge behind you is already burned. You are trapped in the holy tension of the waiting room. The extreme compression you feel is not here to destroy your fragile spirit. It is squeezing every last drop of the victim mentality out of your bloodline. You are being aggressively refined by the pure fire of heaven itself, and you must not flinch. You feel like you are losing your absolute mind on some difficult days. The emotional swings are wild and completely unpredictable. You cry for no logical reason in the middle of the busy afternoon. Your body is physically trembling under the heavy weight of this dimensional shift. Do not try to avoid this profound spiritual transition. This heavy discomfort is the feeling of massive growth. We are reaching the breaking point of your incredibly long endurance. You have stretched your faith farther than anyone else in your family line. You have held on to the invisible promise when everyone else called you completely crazy. And now the spiritual dam is about to break wide open over your life. The rushing water of your financial miracle is pressing hard against the fragile glass. But there is one final test waiting for you at this intense threshold. The enemy is desperately trying to hide a specific strategy from your tired eyes. Your financial breakthrough is fully authorized and ready to be released to you. But there is one final and specific key you are missing to unlock the vault. He desperately hoped you would never learn this powerful secret today. He wants you to keep pushing against the heavy door with your own human strength. He wants you to exhaust yourself until you simply collapse on the floor in tears. But the door to your massive inheritance does not open by human force at all. It opens by a completely different frequency of holy obedience, and you must stop trying to kick the door open with your tired feet. This is the most dangerous moment of your entire spiritual journey. If you give up right now, you will lose the massive harvest you spent years crying for. You must plant your feet firmly on the solid ground today. Do not let the intense chaos of this week make you doubt the solid promise. The darkness is swirling violently around you because the bright light is breaking through. The spiritual delay we talked about earlier is officially ending today. I told you that my long silence was a shield protecting your beautiful future. That silence is now shifting into a very loud and triumphant roar of total victory. I have finished clearing the toxic enemies out of your future room. The space is finally clean, and it is perfectly prepared for your grand arrival. I need you to gather every ounce of strength you have left in your tired bones. Unclench your tight jaw and brace yourself for the massive sudden impact of my blessing. The extreme pressure you feel today will become the exact power that launches you forward tomorrow. Hold on tightly because the heavy door is about to swing wide open. Do not close your eyes. Look straight ahead. The intense pressure you feel is finally reaching its absolute peak today. The heavy chains of your past are snapping right now. You have survived the brutal wilderness by holding onto a tiny thread, while the enemy threw every single weapon at your fragile mind. But it is time to drop that thread and grab your massive sword. The old version of you is completely gone. You must stop acting like a helpless slave in your own house. You have spent entirely too much time begging for scraps. You kneel on the floor and cry for a tiny drop of relief. And you constantly try to bargain with heaven by promising to work harder just so I might notice your struggle. That exhausting transactional religion is completely over today. A desperate petitioner stands at a counter and begs for mercy. An heir simply walks through the front door and receives their legal inheritance. You have been exhausting yourself by standing at the wrong counter for years. You were asking permission to take what already belongs to you, but the massive vault was never actually locked in the first place. It is time to step away from the beggar line forever. You are the rightful heir to a massive spiritual estate. The deep financial drought you suffered was never meant to be your permanent identity. It was only a temporary classroom designed to forge your iron character. The enemy desperately wants you to identify with your painful wounds, because a victim will never have the courage to demand their royal inheritance. He wants you to introduce yourself as a broken person. But you are absolutely not a broken vessel begging to be fixed. You are the chosen one who carries the fire of a cycle breaker. Your bloodline depends on your ultimate victory today. Do not shrink back to make those insecure people feel comfortable, because their confusion does not change your divine assignment. Your powerful light is supposed to blind the darkness. Stop apologizing for the massive calling on your life. Stand up and aggressively square your heavy shoulders right now. Lift your head and look directly into the unseen realm. You have paid a massive price in tears to reach this holy ground. Every single betrayal and lonely night was just a deposit into your heavenly account, and the ultimate payout is finally due to arrive. You are standing on a mountain of absolute authority. You must own it completely. The days of waiting for someone else to rescue you are done. The days of crying over closed doors and lost opportunities are officially finished. You hold the master key in your own tired hands. Heaven has already authorized the massive transfer of wealth into your life, but you must reach out and take it with total confidence. You simply need to change your posture from a beggar to a conqueror. Let the fierce pride of your royal identity wash over you. You are not a mistake, and your journey is not an accident. The heavy fog that clouded your mind is instantly lifting as you step into your true power. The enemy is watching you rise right now, and he is completely paralyzed by fear, because he knows his stolen territory is lost forever. He cannot stop the glorious momentum of an awakened giant. Your massive breakthrough does not require any more suffering. You have bled enough, and you have proven your absolute loyalty in the dark. The season of painful testing is officially closed by heavenly decree. You are crossing the invisible boundary line into your grand season of arrival, and you will never again be defined by what you lack. The barren wasteland is fading away behind you. The harvest is absolutely guaranteed. I want you to feel the wild empowerment surging through your veins. You are the exact solution your bloodline has been waiting for. You are the one who changes the terrible economic trajectory of your entire family. Take a deep breath and let the total realization settle into your chest, while the angels prepare to deliver the long-awaited promise. We are stepping into the Holy of Holies right now. The vault is open. Do not let a single ounce of doubt remain in your mind. The old survival patterns are burning away in the bright light of this new truth. You are fully equipped to handle the massive wealth that is walking towards you. The spiritual universe is aggressively aligning every single detail to favor your specific path, and no weapon formed against your prosperity will ever prosper. It is finally your turn to reign in absolute victory. You have crossed the final threshold. The heavy door is completely destroyed. You are no longer the exhausted survivor fighting for a tiny breath of air. You are the rightful heir to a kingdom of endless provision. The spiritual vault is entirely open before your very eyes, and the wealth that the enemy stole from your ancestors is being aggressively redirected into your hands today. Heaven is placing the crown of authority on your tired head. You came into this moment feeling like a desperate beggar. You were terrified that my long silence meant you were severely punished. Now the heavy fog has completely lifted. You finally know the absolute truth. The anxiety that gripped your chest 10 minutes ago has been washed away by my fierce peace. You do not need to cry on the floor anymore. Stand completely still and simply receive what is yours. The enemy thought he could break you with financial terror. He thought the heavy bills and the constant lack would make you curse my name. But his cruel strategy completely backfired. Your painful tears became the exact water that grew your massive harvest. Every single time he tried to push you into the dirt, you planted a powerful seed of unwavering faith. And now the grand harvest is absolutely undeniable. Let the profound peace settle deeply into your bones right now. You are safe, you are fully seen, and you are fiercely protected by heaven itself. The long season of bleeding for ungrateful people is officially over. I am surrounding you with divine favor that no human logic can ever explain. If your spirit confirms this profound peace today, you must seal this holy moment. you must physically acknowledge your new royal identity. This is where your massive breakthrough becomes a physical reality. I promise to hand you the exact key you have been missing. The key is total surrender and holy gratitude. If this sanctuary has bound your painful wounds today, I invite you to honor the altar. Take a brave moment to plant a financial seed through the Super Thanks button directly below this video. This is not a simple transaction. This is a powerful decree. When you plant your seed on this holy altar, you are signing a spiritual receipt. You are showing the unseen realm that you trust the massive harvest is already yours. Do not let the enemy whisper fear into your ear. He wants you to clutch your last coins in absolute terror. But an heir gives freely because they know the vault is entirely limitless. Step into your authority and plant your seed with immense joy today. This bold act of faith is the final missing key I promised you earlier. You are officially turning that key in the lock when you sow into this prophetic word. Heaven recognizes the bold faith of a cycle breaker who refuses to operate in deep fear. I am watching your hands right now. I am blessing the seed you plant and multiplying it across your entire bloodline. Your financial drought ends the very second you release your tight grip. You are the rightful heir. The angels are actively recording your bold obedience in the courts of heaven today. You have survived the bitter wilderness, and you have kept your precious faith completely intact. The heavy burden of survival is officially lifted off your shoulders. Walk into your new season with a light heart. You are fully equipped to handle the massive blessing that is rushing toward your house right now. Do not look back at the broken pieces of your painful past. The confused people who doubted your calling will watch in absolute awe as my favor rests heavily upon your life. The massive transition is fully complete. You are standing firmly inside your glorious arrival season. Claim your inheritance with bold confidence. Plant your seed on the altar and watch how quickly heaven moves to reward your unshakable trust. You are finally home. Now pause exactly where you are. Resist the urge to quickly scroll away. Let the heavy intensity of this massive revelation settle completely into your tired bones. Unclench your jaw right now. Let your heavy shoulders fall down entirely. You have carried some incredibly heavy things in this short message today. Your physical vessel needs a moment to catch up to your new reality. Take one very slow breath in. Let it out completely. Feel the rapid beating of your anxious heart begin to slow down. The violent storm of the wilderness is fading into a gentle and quiet breeze. You are completely safe inside this holy room. The spiritual enemies who chased you for years cannot cross this sacred boundary line, and they are forced to watch you prosper from a great distance. You do not need to constantly look over your shoulder anymore. Rest your tired mind today. The fierce battle for your financial future is already won in the unseen realm. Exhale the toxic anxiety you have carried for entirely too long. Feel the heavy armor falling right off your tired back. You do not need to wear that heavy metal suit in the house of your father. You can finally breathe without the suffocating weight of endless survival pressing on your chest. Let the tears of absolute relief flow freely if they need to fall right now, because those tears are actively washing away your deep generational trauma. Those are not tears of terrible defeat. They are holy waters of restoration. The deep peace you feel right now is your new permanent residence. It is not a temporary feeling that will disappear when you wake up tomorrow morning. This profound stillness is the actual atmosphere of your grand arrival season. You are stepping softly into a time of glorious rest. The exhausting days of fighting for every single inch of ground are officially over, and heaven is doing the heavy lifting for you while you simply stand still in total confidence. Look around at the empty quietness of this beautiful new space. The toxic noise of confused people cannot reach you here. You have been completely vindicated by the highest court in the universe. You no longer need to explain your pure heart to anyone who misunderstands your journey, because your complete silence is the ultimate sign of your royal authority. An heir does not argue in the street. An heir simply smiles and walks into the grand estate. Put your hand directly over your heavy chest if you can. Feel the steady rhythm of your own heartbeat. That is the beautiful sound of a cycle breaker who survived the absolute worst the darkness had to offer. You did not break under the massive holy compression. You expanded entirely. And now your enlarged spirit is perfectly ready to hold the incoming blessing, so do not rush this deeply sacred moment. Linger right here in the peaceful light. The anxious fog that clouded your mind is completely gone now. Your thoughts are crystal clear and perfectly aligned with your divine assignment. You know exactly who you are today. You are the chosen one who refused to quit when the wilderness was brutally hot, and because you held on to my promise in the deep dark, I am making you a blazing beacon. Your long night of weeping is completely finished. The morning of massive joy has officially arrived. Let us address the tired caregiver inside of your heavy heart. For so many years you have been the strong anchor for everyone else around you. You held their broken pieces together while your own spirit was secretly bleeding. But today heaven is wrapping a strong arm around your tired shoulders, and I am holding you completely together so you can finally rest. You can finally stop trying to fix every single problem in the world. You are allowed to simply exist and be deeply loved without fixing anyone. The people who took your endless energy for granted will soon realize the massive grace you carried, but their late realization does not matter to your profound peace today. You are completely detached from their toxic judgment and loud demands. You are floating above the heavy chaos that used to drag you down into deep depression, and the invisible chains of people-pleasing are completely shattered on the holy floor. You belong entirely to heaven now. Take one more slow and intentional breath with me. Let the divine energy flow all the way down to your tired feet. You are grounded deeply in the solid truth of your massive inheritance. The shifting sands of the brutal wilderness cannot destabilize you ever again, because you are firmly planted by the eternal river of absolute abundance. Drink deeply from this peaceful water today. Your soul is being completely restored right in front of your hidden enemies. The heavy season of deep isolation is officially breaking off your life right now. You have been completely restored in the quietness of this holy room, but heaven always works through the powerful law of divine connection. You are no longer just a tired survivor trying to gather small crumbs for yourself. You are the cycle breaker carrying a massive light, and a beacon is never meant to stay hidden in the dark while others suffer. There is someone in your phone contacts right now who is staring at their screen. They are terrified of tomorrow and its heavy bills just like you were 10 minutes ago. They are crying silent tears in the dark while everyone else is fast asleep. They desperately need the exact validation you just received. Use your hands to be their sudden rescue today. You hold the power to completely change their tragic trajectory tonight. Pass this powerful message on to them immediately. Share this video directly to their phone without any hesitation. When you share this exact word, you set the law of heavenly multiplication into rapid motion. You become a divine instrument of profound peace. Share this message to save their fragile soul tonight. And watch how quickly heaven moves to multiply your own personal harvest 100 times over. Do not let the enemy steal this profound peace when you wake up tomorrow morning. He will absolutely try to send his familiar whispers of doubt back into your tired mind. You must guard the holy gates of your daily attention. Subscribe to this channel right now as a physical boundary line against the creeping darkness. This simple action builds a strong wall of protection around your daily digital feed. Subscribe so the prophetic word reaches you before the old habit of the enemy returns. You need this daily spiritual bread to sustain your new royal identity. Do not rely on a random algorithm to bring you back to this safe sanctuary. You must deliberately choose to stay connected to the specific frequency of your absolute victory. Take that small step of holy obedience right now and secure your daily peace. Now, I want you to officially sign the spiritual receipt of your inheritance. Go into the comments section below and leave the word Amen as your final stroke. Type 777 to permanently seal this prophetic decree. This is the bold signature of a rightful heir claiming their grand estate. The angels are actively recording your public declaration in the courts of heaven today. If you felt led to plant a financial seed earlier, know that your harvest is already accelerating rapidly. The heavy chains of generational poverty are completely shattered on the floor behind you. You do not need to look back at the broken pieces ever again. The barren wilderness is officially closed forever. You are walking directly into the brightest morning your entire bloodline has ever seen. I release a massive blanket of provision and peace over your entire household today. Every single debt that kept you awake at night is being targeted by divine cancellation. The toxic people who drained your energy are permanently blocked from entering your new season. You will sleep soundly tonight with a completely quiet mind. The fierce battle is over and the grand victory is fully yours to enjoy. Do not answer the loud accusations of the enemy when he tries to shame your past mistakes. Your past is completely erased by the grace of this massive dimensional shift. You have been washed entirely clean by the tears you cried in the wilderness. Let the remaining doubt simply wash away into absolute nothingness. You are stepping into the year 2026 with a completely unburdened soul. You are the chosen one. You are the beautiful child of a limitless king. Stand completely still in the face of your remaining human fears. Stay entirely clean from the toxic drama of confused people who refuse to understand your calling. And watch heaven move massive mountains to deliver the exact promise I spoke over your life today. I will speak to you again very soon. Step quietly into your glorious rest.